You wake up to the sound of metal against metal. It's not your alarm. It's the guard hitting the bars with his baton at 5:30 a.m. Welcome to your new reality. El Altiplano, they say, is the most secure prison in Mexico. What they don't tell you is that security works in both directions. Nobody gets in, but you definitely don't get out. Your cell measures 2 by 3 meters. There's a concrete bunk, a steel toilet with no lid, and a window the size of your hand where barely any light comes through. The walls are painted a color that was once white but is now the shade of accumulated despair. You share this palace with another inmate. His name is El Chuy. He's here for kidnapping. You two are not friends, you are survival partners. The difference is important. The first day they explain the rules to you. The official ones and the real ones. The official ones are simple. No fighting, no drugs, no weapons. The real ones are more complex. You pay rent, you respect hierarchies, never talk to authorities. The rent is 5,000 pesos weekly that you pay to the boss who controls your sector. He protects you. Or rather, he decides not to kill you, which is the prison version of protection. You discover that the prison is a country within another country. It has its own economy, its own government, its own laws. The official warden is a bureaucrat who signs papers in his air-conditioned office. The real warden is El Maro, a guy from Guanajuato who controls 3 of the 4 yards. He decides who eats, who works, who lives. He is God with tattoos and a record of 47 homicides. The food arrives on dented aluminum trays. Breakfast, a hard bread roll, some watered-down coffee that tastes like dirty water, sometimes beans that have the consistency of glue. Lunch, white rice, vegetables boiled until they've lost any nutritional value, something that was once chicken. Dinner, whatever was left from lunch. You learn to eat fast, to leave nothing on your plate, to be grateful that at least today there was food. But the official food is only for the poor, the ones who have no money on the outside. You still have resources. Your family deposits into your account. You can buy from the little store. It's a room the size of a closet run by an inmate who works for El Maro. They sell tuna, crackers, instant coffee, cigarettes. Everything costs triple what it does on the street. A can of tuna that costs 18 pesos goes for $50. It's the economy of captivity. You have no choice. The real business is in what you don't see. The drugs get in. They always get in. Guards who need to pay for their kids' college tuition. Lawyers with briefcases that never get properly searched. Conjugal visits where more than love gets trafficked in little packages. There's crystal, coke, heroin, weed. There's everything. The most secure prison in Mexico has better distribution than the corner store. Your first business inside is simple. You have contacts on the outside. They can get phones, smuggled smartphones that are worth their weight in gold. Outside, they cost 3,000 pesos. In here, you sell them for $25,000. A guard sneaks them in, hidden in his lunchbox. You take your cut, El Maro takes his cut, everyone eats. It's capitalism in its purest and most ruthless form. You learn the language of signals. Now, touching your nose means there's surveillance. Scratching your left ear means I have merchandise. Spitting on the ground means that guy is a snitch. Everything is communicated without words, because the walls have ears and the ears have a price. An informant can live well in here if he knows what information to sell and to whom. Visits are on Sundays. Your mom comes every 2 weeks. She cries every time. She brings homemade food that the guards inspect like archaeologists searching for treasures. They tear apart the tamales, destroy the cake, stir through the mole. They never find anything because you learned not to mix family with business. Your mom is sacred. She brings nothing but her pain and her handmade tortillas. But others don't have your discipline. They use their families as mules. Kids who walk in with drugs, taped to their bodies with adhesive tape. Wives who hide phones in places you'd rather not imagine. Grandmothers who carry batteries in specially modified bras. Desperation turns good people into accomplices. Prison doesn't just imprison you, it imprisons everyone who loves you. Power in prison is fluid like water and violent like fire. It lasts as long as you can maintain it. El Maro controls because he has people on the outside who can hurt families, because he has money to buy loyalties, because he is crueler than anyone else when he needs to be. But there's always someone waiting for their moment. There's always a contender willing to take his place. You see your first execution in the yard, a guy named El Regio. He owed money, a lot of money. He had 3 weeks to pay, he didn't pay. He thought the threats were theater. He was wrong. They corner him in the showers. 4 guys with shanks made from sharpened metal. The shanks are works of prison art. Toothbrush handles, pieces of fence, anything that can pierce flesh. They stab him 37 times. The guards arrive 20 minutes later. There were no cameras in that area. There are never cameras where it really matters. You become a banker. It's safer than selling drugs. You lend money at 20% weekly. It's usury, but nobody complains because the alternative is worse. An inmate needs 10,000 pesos to pay his rent. You lend it to him. The following week he owes you $12,000. If he doesn't pay, you don't kill him. That would be wasteful. You take away his spot in the little store. You take away his access to phones. You turn him into a social ghost inside the prison. It's worse than death. It's death in slow motion. You develop a system. You have 3 collectors, big guys, quiet, with reputations that speak for them. They don't threaten. They don't need to. Their presence is the threat. They collect on Mondays. They carry a notebook where you write everything down. Names, amounts, dates. You are meticulous. Accounting in prison is as important as on Wall Street. One mistake and you lose credibility. You lose credibility and you lose everything. The guards are your best investment. Not all of them are buyable, but enough of them are. You identify the ones who have debts, the ones who have vices, the ones who have ambitions. A guard with an overdue mortgage is worth his weight in gold. You lend him 50,000 pesos. He owes you favors worth 10 times more. Looking the other way when merchandise passes through. Tipping you off when there's going to be an inspection. Losing paperwork that could hurt you. It's institutionalized and systematic corruption. Your cell improves. Now you have a real mattress, bought with bribes to the warehouse managers. You have a fan for the killer summer when the concrete retains heat like an oven. You have a small television hidden in a hole you carved into the wall over 6 months. You watch the news. You laugh when they talk about the war on drugs. That war is being lost right here inside, where they're supposed to have already won. You learn that the prison has zones. Yard A is for the powerful. Bigger cells, more privileges, less violence. Yard B is for the prison middle class. Yard C is hell. That's where the ones who have nothing go. Yeah, the ones who can't pay rent, the ones who are alone. Violence there is daily. Rapes are common currency. Life is worth less than a cigarette. You are in Yard B. You're working to get to A. You meet a guy, El Licenciado. He was a lawyer before. Now he's here for money laundering. He's brilliant. He teaches you things. How to use shell companies from the inside. How your family can set up businesses that receive cartel money and launder it while you orchestrate from inside. How to sign powers of attorney that keep you in control of properties without having to be present. You become his partner. Together you are more dangerous inside than many hitmen on the outside. Phone calls are your connection to the empire. You have 4 cell phones. You rotate them every week. Each one has a purpose. One for family, one for legal business, 2 for the other stuff. You speak in code. The blue package arrived at the northern store means your coke shipment arrived in Tijuana. My aunt is sick means there were problems with the territory. You develop an entire language. It's criminal poetry. You become necessary. The cartel outside needs you because you know routes, contacts, operations, but they also fear you because you know too much. It's the same dilemma you had on the outside, but amplified. In here you're vulnerable, but you're also safe. It's paradoxical. If they kill you in prison, there are investigations, there's noise. Better to keep you alive and useful. For now. Routine is your enemy and your salvation. You wake up, you pay, you negotiate, you collect, you eat, You call, you sleep, you repeat. Days blur into weeks, weeks into months. You've been here 3 years. Your sentence is 35. The math is cruel. You are 32 years old. You'll get out if you get out at 64. Your entire life will be this rectangle of concrete and despair. You try to keep your sanity. You exercise in your cell. Push-ups, sit-ups, squats. Your body gets stronger while your mind gets weaker. You read books that your family brings, novels, history, anything that takes you out of here mentally. But the words on the page feel hollow. They are windows to a world that no longer exists for you. Nights are the worst. The silence of the prison is not silence. It's a symphony of suffering. You hear men cry, you hear men scream, you hear men beg and men threaten. You hear the metallic echo of your own breathing. Sometimes you wonder if you're breathing or if you're just existing in an infinite loop of inhalation without purpose. Your ex-girlfriend got married. You found out through a message your brother sent without thinking. She married an accountant. They live in Querétaro. They have a baby. In another life, that baby could have been yours. That life could have been yours. But you chose this. You chose the fast money, the easy respect, the fleeting power. And now you're here, reading about someone else's life where yours should be. A riot breaks out. It's in Yard C. The inmates rebel against the conditions. They burn mattresses. They take hostages. It's chaos. The federal police come in with tear gas and rubber bullets. 3 inmates die. The media says order was restored. They don't mention that one of the dead was 19 years old and was in there for car theft. They don't mention that his crime didn't deserve an execution. After the riot, there are reprisals. They close visits for a month. They reduce yard time. They increase inspections. Your business suffers. You can't move merchandise. Phones become impossible to get. You lose 200,000 pesos in 1 month. But you survive. Because you always survive. It's the only thing you know how to do now. A new inmate arrives, a kid. He can't be older than 22. They put him in your cell. El Chuy was transferred. The kid is terrified. It's his first time inside. He looks at you as if you were a monster. Maybe you are. You explain the rules to him. You tell him how to survive. You lend him money for his first rent payment. It's an investment. He'll be your assistant. You meet people you never imagined meeting. A disgraced senator. A businessman who crossed the wrong cartel. A federal police officer who was extorting narcos, and the narcos decided to simplify the situation by putting him on the same side of the bars. Prison is the great equalizer. In here, everyone bleeds the same. Everyone pisses in the same steel toilet. Everyone shares the same hopelessness. Your mother stops coming, not because she abandoned you. She died. Cancer. They didn't let you go to the funeral. Flight risk, they said. You found out by phone. Your sister was crying so hard she could barely speak. You had to keep your composure. In here, you can't show weakness. You cried that night, alone, on your bunk, biting your hand to keep from making noise. It was the first time you cried in 3 years. It was the last. Your sentence gets reduced. Your lawyer, a corrupt genius you pay 50,000 pesos a month, finds technicalities. From 35 years, you go down to 20. It's a victory. It means you'll get out at 49 instead of 64. You're still going to be old, but at least you won't be elderly. You celebrate by buying smuggled tequila. You share it with your partners. You all get drunk in silence because even celebration in here is bitter. El Maro falls. He doesn't die. He gets transferred to another prison. His network crumbles. There's a war for control. 5 candidates, 2 die in the first week. 1 is mysteriously transferred. 2 remain. You stay neutral. You sell to both. You lend to both. Whoever wins, you'll still be necessary. It's your superpower, your curse, your salvation. 10 years pass. 10 years of your life evaporated in this building. You've seen kids come in and hardened men walk out. You've seen men come in and empty shells walk out. You've become both. Hard on the outside, hollow on the inside. Functional but fundamentally broken. You are a survival machine with no purpose beyond surviving 1 more day. They call you for a video call. It's your lawyer. There's news. A protected witness retracted his testimony. There are procedural errors, the possibility of early release, 5 more years and you could be out. You feel nothing. You should feel hope, excitement, something. But you only feel that familiar emptiness that is your constant companion. You discover that you don't want to get out. Not really. Out there you don't know who you are. In here you do. You're the banker, the connector, the fixer. You have purpose, structure, relative power. Out there you'll be an ex-convict with 500,000 pesos saved but no identity. You'll be a ghost in a world that kept spinning without you. Prison has institutionalized you. It has turned you into a man who only knows how to exist behind bars. This is your life now. It's not the life you planned when you were 15 and started selling drugs in your neighborhood because your family needed to eat. It's not the life you dreamed of when you were 22 and became an important cartel operator. It's the life you built with every decision, every crime, every moment where you chose the easy path over the right one. You are a narco in prison. You're not the most dangerous, you're not the most powerful, but you are a survivor. You are proof that you can take everything from a man except his ability to adapt. You've turned hell into your home. You've made suffering your profession. You've transformed despair into a way of life. And the darkest thing of all is that you're no longer even sure you want it to end.